Hello, good morning students. So today we are going to start the chapter number first, the crop productions and the management. So in the previous class we already discussed the different type of the crop productions, different stages, and in today class we will be discuss the various stages. I think you know that we already classify the basic practice of the crop productions into a few stages or few class. Firstly, if you will be see here the preparations of the soil and sowing, adding and manure. We already discussed it in the last classes, and today we will be discuss the irrigations, removal of weeds and the harvestings. So now we start here the third stage, not the third, fourth stage is the irrigations. So after the preparation of the soil and then the sowing of the seeds and then the adding the manure and fertilizers, we come to the fourth stage, that is known the irrigations. So if you will be see here, the irrigation, it is a process where we supply the water to the plants or the crops in the field, that will be known the irrigations, to give the water to the crops. And now we will be see here why it is necessary. Definitely the plants they will make their food by the use of the waters. So now firstly we have to remember that the factor affecting the irrigations requirement for the crop. So there are the three factors on which the irrigations will be depend. One is the nature of the crop, second is nature of soil, थर्ड इज द सीजन. आपने देखा होगा जो हमारी क्रॉप्स होती हैं उसका नेचर्स पे डिपेंड करेगा. सम क्रॉप्स दे विल बी ग्रो इन द विंटर सीजन, सम क्रॉप दे विल बी ग्रो इन द रेनी सीजन्स. द रीजन इज बिकॉज दैट इज डिपेंड ऑन द नेचर ऑफ द क्रॉप्स. इफ आई टेक द एग्जांपल लाइक द paddy, you all know that the paddy is generally grow in the rainy season because they plants they require the lots of water, so we cannot grow it in the winter season. Similar, the nature of the soil, some crops they will be grown into the sandy soils, some plants can be grow into the clay soils. So definitely they are depend also on the soil natures. Some soil has a high percolation rate, some soil has a very good water holding capacity. If I take the example of the paddy, they require the lots of water, so definitely they will be grow into the clay soil or the loamy soil because they both have the high water holding capacity. So paddy crop cannot be grow into the sandy soil because it has a low water holding capacity. And third, you will be see the factor seasons. Season is also matter here because yes, if we will try to grow the paddy crop into the winter season, it will not be easy for us to grow them. The reason is because they require the lots of waters and it is possible to give the water in the rainy seasons. So I hope you get the meaning of it. The factors that affect the irrigation, definitely the nature of crop, nature of soil and the season. Now students, we will be discussing here the source of the irrigations. Source, we generally get the water for the irrigations from the river, canals, wells, tube wells, dams, ponds and the lakes. So these are the few source of the irrigations. Now we will be discussing here how we will be use this water in our irrigation or in our crops. So definitely here we will be discuss some traditional method of the irrigations, then some modern method of the irrigation. So firstly we classify them into the four group. One is the moat, second is the chain pump, third is the dhakli and fourth is the rahat. So here first is the moat systems. If you will be seeing these pictures, animals is here and we are pulling out the water from the well by using a pulley here. So one is the pulley in there you will be see, and we are try to extract the water by a vessel by using the animal force. So this will be known the moat. Second, if you will be see the chain pump, so here we take the chain here and on this chain you will be see there are a large number of the bucket will be hold. So these buckets are using for getting the waters from the लोअर सरफेस एरिया. अज्यूम करो ये हमारा कोई वाटर सोर्स है और यहाँ से हमें वाटर को ऊपर की तरफ कैरी करना है. सो वी विल बी यूज हियर टू पुली, ये वन पुली और ये हमारा सेकंड पुली. तो दोनों पुली को हमने कंबाइन किससे किया, एक चैन के साथ, और चैन में काफी सारी बकेट हैं और जो बकेट हेल्प करेंगी वाटर को ऊपर कैरी करने में. सो दैट विल बी नोन द चैन पंप सिस्टम्स. नाउ द थर्ड वन, द ढेकली सिस्टम्स. इफ यू विल बी सी, यहाँ से वेल दे रखा है, सो वेल को हमने किससे कनेक्ट करा, एक यहाँ पर हमने एक लॉग लिया वाटर का और वाटर लॉग के ऊपर हमने यहाँ बकेट को फिक्स किया एंड और द अनदर एंड यू विल बी सी हियर जो हमने क्या करा, स्टोन्स को बाइंड अप कर दिया. सो दिस स्टोन्स विल बी हेल्प अस टू जस्ट एग्जैक्ट और टेक द वाटर फ्रॉम द वेल. So this process will be known the dhakli. Now the fourth is the rahat system or the lever systems. So lever systems, if you will be seen this picture, यहाँ पर एक पुली सिस्टम है और इट इज ऑल्सो कंटेन बाय सम बकेट. यहाँ पर छोटे छोटे बकेट्स दे रखे हैं और यहाँ पर हम एनिमल्स फोर्स को यूज करके जब हम इसको सर्कुलेट करेंगे, मूव करेंगे, सो दिस पुली विल ऑल्सो मूव and that will be help in the extract the water from this well. So well में से हम पानी कैसे ले रहे हैं, by animals यूज करके. तो इनको जो हमने फोर्स यूज करा और उसके थ्रू क्या हो रहा है, ये पुली हमारी मूव करेगी. So by using these systems we can extract the water. So these are the 4 traditional method of extracting the water from the water source. I hope it's clear to you. Now you will be see the use of the pump for the irrigations. Pump यानी कि जो हमारे पंप होते हैं, मोटर्स होती हैं जनरली, यहाँ पर हम वेल की जगह पंप को यूज करते हैं. सो वी कैन से दिस इज द मॉडर्न मेथड फॉर द इरिगेशंस. So in the modern method you will be see they are the 2 method. One is the sprinkle and the second is the drip system. So sprinkle system, if you will be see here, आपके स्कूल में भी है, जो हमारे पार्क हैं वहाँ पर ये कुछ स्प्रिंकल सिस्टम्स आपको देखने को मिलेगा. यहाँ पर एक मोटर्स जनरेट की गई है और वो कंटिन्यूसली इसको फिक्स करती है और ये जो वाटर्स के जो पाइप है ये कंटिन्यूसली मूव करेगा, सर्कुलेट करेगा. दे आर ए रोटेटिंग नोजल्स हियर एंड दिस नोजल्स विल बी एक्सट्रैक्ट द वाटर्स एंड दैट इज डायरेक्टली कनेक्ट विद दिस वाटर पाइप. एंड इन द सेकंड यू विल बी सी द ड्रिप सिस्टम्स. ड्रिप सिस्टम्स देयर आर ए लार्ज यू विल बी सी, यहाँ पर बहुत बड़े बड़े पाइप्स हैं और हर पाइप्स के अंदर छोटा सा यहाँ पर एक होल्स कर रखे. सो जो होल से यहाँ से क्या होगा, वाटर एक्सट्रैक्ट होगा एंड दिस वाटर विल बी एक्सट्रैक्ट एट द स्पेसिफिक कंडीशंस और स्पेसिफिक एरिया. तो पूरे लैंड में पानी ना दे करके हम एक स्पेसिफिक लैंड में वाटर को दे रहे हैं. सो थ्रू दिस सिस्टम्स, ड्रिप इरिगेशन सिस्टम, वी कैन कंजर्व द वाटर. वाटर को हम कंजर्व कर सकते हैं. वाटर को वेस्ट होने से जो हमारा मॉडर्न इरिगेशन से स्प्रिंकल एंड द ड्रिप बोथ आर हेल्पफुल टू कंजर्व द वाटर्स. ओके, सो दैट इज वेरी हेल्पफुल इन द सैंडी सोइल एंड एनी uneven land. Okay, so these are the very useful where the water is not available in the sufficient amount. We can use these systems because that is very specific. यहाँ पर हमारा water का wastage कम होगा. I hope it's clear to you. Now students, you will be see the removal of weeds or the weeding. So firstly you have to remember the weeding is the unwanted plants in our crops. Yeah, there are 4 given like the wild oats, like the grass, like the anthrax, like the cumopodium. So these are the 4 weeds that generally present in our field. If you have seen अपने फील्ड के अंदर देखा होगा, जहाँ पर खेती करते हैं हम, क्रॉप्स होती हैं, वहाँ पर कुछ अनवांटेड प्लांट्स जरूर ग्रो करते हैं. एंड व्हाट आर द फंक्शन ऑफ देम? दे विल बी एब्जॉर्ब, दे विल बी टेक लॉट्स ऑफ द न्यूट्रिशंस. जो हम न्यूट्रिशंस थ्रू द मैन्योर और फर्टिलाइजर्स के थ्रू हम देते हैं अपने प्लांट्स को, वो सारे के सारे न्यूट्रिशंस ये जितनी भी घासेस हैं, जितने भी वीड्स हैं, ये सब एब्जॉर्ब कर लेते हो. जो हमारे प्लांट्स हैं उनको प्रॉपर अमाउंट में नहीं मिलती. सो दैट्स व्हाई वी रिक्वायर्ड हियर टू कट द वीड्स, टू रिमूविंग द वीड्स. सो इसीलिए हम वीड्स को रिमूव करते हैं. यू विल बी सी जो ये अलग अलग तरह की घास दे रखी है, ग्रास दे रखी है, दीज आर द वीड्स. व्हाई वी रिमूव इट? बिकॉज दे गेट द लार्ज नंबर, दे कंज्यूम द लॉट ऑफ द फर्टिलाइजर, वाटर, सनलाइट, ऑल द सोर्सेज which require for our crops. So they will be get, so that's why we want to cut them. So how we will be cut? We can easily pull by them out our hands and we can also use the trowel यानी खुरपी को भी हम यूज करके हम इसको सेपरेट आउट कर सकते हैं. Now the third steps we can use like the weedicide. Weedicide is a chemicals we generally use to destroy the weeds. If you will be see here, जो हम क्या chemicals को spray कर रहे हैं, use कर रहे हैं, these chemicals are generally yes used for destroying the all the weeds. तो जितने भी हमारे weeds होंगे, unwanted plants होंगे, उनको kill करने के लिए हम ये chemicals use करते हैं. I hope you get the meaning of it. Now we will discuss the harvesting. The normally take place about the 3 or 4 months the food crops to the mature. So definitely harvesting means to cut down the crops when it will become the mature. So this is the picture is given of the mature crop of the wheat. So definitely we will be cut the gathering. You will be see here the cutting, the gathering process of the mature crops, that will be known the harvesting, and we generally do it by using a sickle. So these are the tools or implement which we generally use to the harvest or cut the crops. Now students, if you will be see here, there are given a picture of these machines that are generally used in this modern times. So the function of this, that is also known as a threshers. Okay, so they will be combined process, it will be cut down and it will also collect in this machines. So both process, the threshing process and the cutting process, both will be done by these machines. Okay, so I hope you get the meaning of it. So that is a very simple, the harvesting, cutting and the gathering process. Now student, you have to remember that in India there are the harvest festivals. So in all India there are so many festivals we celebrate during the harvest times. So I think you have seen in the, I think if I take the example of the Holi, so you all know that we generally celebrate it when our wheat crop is matures. And similarly, if we take the example of the Diwali, we celebrate it in the after maturing the crop of the paddy. So in India, there you will be see lots of the seasonal harvesting festivals like the Pongal, Baisakhi, Holi, Nabaina, Bihu. Okay, so I hope you get the meaning of it. Now we come to the next stage, storage of food and the grains. So storage of the foods after the harvesting, definitely the crops will become the dry that into the sunshine before the storings to reduce the moistures. That is an important process because all the moistures, it must be the dried up. The reason is because there are high conditions or higher possibility to be the get infected by the some microorganisms. So for that we have to dry the all crops. So how we will be store the food grains, you have to remember that there are so many things we can स्टोर इट इन द बाई गनी बैग्स और द ग्रेन सिलोज। जो गनी बैग्स होते हैं ये जनरली जूट्स के बने होते हैं। इफ यू विल बी सीन दिस पिक्चर्स, ये बैग्स गनी bags, they are generally made by the jutes. And the second one, if you will be see the grain silo or also the storing food grains. Okay, so after the drying up we will be store them. Now if you will be see the food from the animals, so some food we generally get it from the animals. If you have seen like the milk, egg and the meat, so milk yielding animals, and second one you will be see the meat and egg yield animals. Milk yield animals, they will be known as the like cow, buffalo, and the third one is you can write here the goat, because we get generally milk from these animals, so they will be known as the milk yielding animals. Okay, so milk yield product, they will be known as the butter, ghee, curd, cheese, and they are the highly in the nutritions. Okay, so these are the some animals is given like the sheep, goat, fish, they will be known as the milk yielding animals. And now the chicken, hen, duck, these like the poultry, we get the egg and we also get the meat from here. Now students, we come to the animals husbandry. Animals husbandry is a terms we generally use for the agriculture terms, where we get the food source from the animals. So we are using the animals for getting the food. Okay, so these are the branch of the agriculture, so where we study about the animals. So we generally provide the feeding, shelter, health, breeding of the domestic animals, that will be known the animal husbandry. So proper feeding of the animals, proper shelter of animals, these are the few functions we generally provide for the animals, because we get the our food source from the animals. So firstly, if you will be see the fish as a food, we generally get it the fish from the water source like the rivers, like the oceans, seas. Okay, and fish is highly rich in the nutritions, all the proteins, vitamins. Okay, so we generally get lots of the vitamin from the fish. So there are also some animals husbandry we can also say like the I think you have seen honey, we also get it from the animal husbandry. Milk, okay, so these are the some animals product which we get it from the animals, so they will become under the animals food. Okay, so I hope you get the meaning of it. If you have any doubt students, just ask me. So you have to prepare the very short answer type of these questions, and we will discuss it in the next class. Thank you.